course, it isn't that simple. People are weary. They are fatigued by this pandemic, the bad news, the lockdowns, the isolation, all over the world. In that respect, we're all the same. People yearn for freedoms and equality.
Welcome back to Port Limbo, episode number 4 of our adventure in the End of the World series. Well, survival series. So hopefully you're enjoying it. And hopefully, the storyline interests you. So let's get in and see what we're up to today. Okay, so we're just finishing off our soybeans. Where are we on? Field number 23. So just a little bit to go and we're done, and then we got to take care of our other fields to harvest. And obviously we're going to have to come back and take care of all this straw, which is going to be a challenge in itself. We're going to figure out how to do all of that, and hopefully we're getting a baler that is going to be up to the job of so many bales. So I have a funny feeling we're going to get quite a few bales out of these fields over here. So I'll let him do this. I've already recorded quite a bit of harvesting, so we're going to let them do their job as far as that is concerned. So we'll find something else to do. All right, you may ask what is on the cars at the moment. So what we are looking for, we might look at buying this land over here if we can put some animals on it. So that is the point of what we're doing right now, is we're going up here to see how the land is leveled enough for us to utilize it to put some sheep or some cows or something like that on this particular block of land right up here. So this is our purpose right now. You know what? Definitely looks good enough for that. So we're gonna see if we can negotiate and try and put some animals on this piece of land over here, because we can definitely afford this piece of land. So let's buy it, and let's try to see if what animal pens can I... Oh, I've got some cheap ones. 150 cows. 400 chickens. Okay, so what do we have here? 100 chickens. Okay, so we definitely have some 250 cows. Okay, there is definitely some very, very, very good options over here. So let's just look at sheeps for now. Okay, we don't own that land, but we do own this land over here. So let's turn it around. And okay, let's have a look how this would work out. See if I put it right there next to the street. Okay, being away from the world at the moment, I haven't really had a chance to catch up on the news until this morning. And I put some little snippets of what's going on in the world at the moment, which I'm sure you are more than aware. So me being on an island over here, I kind of forgotten about all that. But I'd like to say that it's surprising. It's not. The Bible does tell us about these things. It tells us that these things will happen, and Jesus told us the nations will go to war and kingdoms will go to war against each other. There'll be famine, there'll be earthquakes. You will be hated, you will be arrested, you'll be persecuted. The Bible tells us in Matthew 24, simply because you are a child, you are a follower of Jesus. Many that are Christians at the moment will turn away, the Bible tells us back then. And will just say, I never knew Jesus at all, or simply turn into a religious person Instead of following Christ, they will follow a religion as such. All these things that are happening in the world at the moment, the Bible tells us that it's just the beginning of pain. So not the end of the world, just beginning of everything that's going on. And Jesus tells us, and the Bible tells us, to be very careful that we are not deceived. In other words, that we don't follow a religion, that we don't follow a human. The Antichrist will be a human that will portray himself to be God, and many people will follow him. Why? Because he will be given power to perform miracles. And many people will say, if you read in Revelation 13, they will say, how can you not follow this guy? Look at the miracles that he's doing. Have a look at the world today that we live in, and it's very much based on, look at this person can do. Look at people that invented a car or something, and people just crazily follow these people purely because they did something. Jesus tells us in, I believe, John 16, that he's told us all these things in advance with the purpose that when they happen, we don't lose our faith. We don't lose our belief when we see all these things happen, because in Matthew 24, it says that many people, when they see all these things, will kind of get offended, would kind of think, whoa, how can a God exist if all these things are happening? You got to remember, God is giving you free choice. And because God has given the world, his creation, free choice, they get to choose how they live their lifestyle. They get to choose whether they want to live good or bad. That's what it is to be free. You have a choice. Democracy is supposed to be exactly like that. Freedom, meaning you can choose. Exactly what God said. You can choose. You can choose to follow me and the way I told you to live, and then you will have a happy life, even here on earth. You can choose to be evil, but these are the results. And at the moment, and for the last hundreds of thousands of years since the world is created and humanity chose to be disobedient to God, they're living with the consequences, and sickness and all these wars and all these horrible things that are happening in the world are a consequence of freedom, a consequence of God allowing you and me and all of us to choose. And unfortunately, many people in our world choose to be evil, choose to follow an evil path, choose to be disobedient to God, choose to be deceitful, and that's their choice that they make. So it's a little snippet of what is happening. And like I said, living on this island over here kind of took me by surprise. I kind of fell away from all the news and all the things that are happening, living on this Limbo Port Island by myself. Didn't have a TV for a while, so I finally got my TV and internet connected, and I finally got to see what's happening in the world, and I only put snippets of it. The point of all this, from a religious point of view, is we know that Jesus told us about all these things. We were warned about all this over 2,000 years ago, and more things that are yet to come. The Bible tells us about them with the purpose that we can prepare ourselves. I encourage you to read your New Testament in the Bible and discover these things for yourself, and hopefully they will speak to you and you'll get to understand them. But anyway, let's keep on farming. Okay, so we are down to our field 12. This is the only field I believe that we have wheat on, if memory serves me right. This is the field that we bought with the money that we got from the treasures that we found on this map. So I'm going to harvest this field this way until we get to the we'll do a few times this way. It gives the worker, get rid of that. It gives the worker a bit more freedom as far as going up and down these hills. Workers do tend to struggle a little bit with this, so because of that. Actually, let's just put the worker on, see what happens. Oh, look, he's already changing directions. Where are you going? I don't understand. Where was he planning to go? So he obviously had his own directions in mind that he wanted to harvest. But definitely don't want to do that. So I will harvest this field. we do have a tourism business on our island, and we do get a little bit of income out of it. Not completely, because we don't own the whole island yet. Once we will own the whole island, we will get a little bit more income out of the tourism. The tourists are limited to where they can go, especially with the current pandemic in the world, so they're not allowed to go all over the place. They are allowed to sort of go around here and a little bit through the town. There's boats that come and drop them off and pick them up. So they're not really, they're allowed to wander around the town to buy food and all that sort of stuff. But they're sort of limited to that area only. We do get a little bit of the income that they bring. At the moment, with the park that we own is insignificant. So I haven't even yet received anything, and I'm not quite up to speed with exactly what we're gonna receive out of it. But once we own all of it, and then obviously all the income comes to us, except the money that we will obviously give the ferries and the boats that bring people across, and the few shops that will remain on the island to continue to cater for these tourists. So just thought I'd put that in, because like you know, any of these beautiful places, it'd be a shame not to benefit from it. Now, obviously, if this pandemic thing disappears, it may end up that it will be more profitable to you know, put more like hotels and whatever in town to you know, have more tourists come in and advertise for tourism. After all, it is a wonderful island, together with beaches and little islands on top of it, and obviously we got mountain for hiking as well. But we'll see what the future brings, and we'll see what all these things that are happening in the world at the moment, what they will mean for our future endeavors. Beach sail is the one that won. Oh, we're definitely gonna need to do some massive upgrade on the engine with this capacity on this truck. We're not gonna be happy to go 14 miles per hour. So yep, high capacity, but very slow. So we obviously have ourselves an engine problem with this particular truck. What's it, the tires are a bit flat by the looks of it, so we're gonna need to look into this truck. They obviously sold us a bit of a high capacity dead horse or dying horse. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's go, let's go. Alright, so this is obviously not very good. I'm going to bring it back to the mechanic over here, have a look at it. We do have the option to send it back if it's not what we want. I didn't really want to do that. After all, I picked up this truck, I think somewhere between $60,000 and $70,000, something like that, so ridiculously cheap. And I honestly thought it would be, you know, exactly what we need for our you know, area here. We got you know, ex-army truck by the looks of it, you know, really high off the ground, so suitable to go on our once we have to go up into where the animals are, but at 12 miles an hour but actually 12 kilometers an hour. Obviously there is some engine issues here, and we're obviously gonna have to look into it and get a report from the mechanic there. And then we'll make a decision. If it's an easy fix, I will fix it. If it's you know, not an easy fix, then I will not fix it, obviously, and just send it back. And I'll have to look through the invoices. I know it's somewhere between $60,000 and $70,000 that we paid for it. We'll have to get our money back. It's an advantage that we got this from the same people that we got the, well, through the same company or through the same dealer that we got our baler from. So I don't think we'll have any issues getting our money back if we have to, or working something out with the baler, something to that degree. Maybe if we decide to keep the baler, take the $60,000 to $70,000 off it, and so on. But I don't really want to do that because I do need a higher capacity truck. I need a bigger truck. These tourists are just walking in circles, but it looks like they got a bit of food here. Oh, just junk food. We're gonna have to do better than that. Oh, we're gonna have to do better than that if we decide to, if we can afford to buy the whole farm. Well, we had a good payday from our first harvest, which was 256,000 type of thing. So $100,000 from it. It's not bad. So it looks like this truck is all right with no load on it. But we'll take it to see what the mechanic says when we take it to him right now. We'll see if we can ask him if he wants to have a look at our truck and see what he says. So let's go and have a chat to him and see what he says.
Hey Redeem, how you going?
Oh, I just brought this truck of mine, seems to have a bit of an engine issue. I wonder if you could have a look at it.
Yeah, no problem, just leave it with me.
Alright, I'll see you later.
Alright, later.
Okay, you'll call me when it's done?
Yeah.
Okay, see you later. So we'll let him have a look at it and see what happens when we come back to it. Having a look at this baler actually looks very promising. Very, very promising. Very happy with that. Let's get a... Yeah, why not? We've not really used these that much, so let's just go and get our equipment. I am going the right way, that yes. Toyota Land Cruiser, the workhorse of Australia. This is the favorite four-wheel drive for the farmers in Australia. So obviously it's not an Australian-made car, but they seem to love this four-wheel drive, and the engines in them, apparently you cannot kill them. They're that good. So you can see why they are so sought after here, even you know, for any farmer here in Australia. So we're gonna go pick up our baler and take it where we're gonna use it. It looks like they're still checking out our truck. So alright, I'll take it back to our farm at the top there, and then we'll come back. Alright, so connected the Massey Ferguson baler to the Massey Ferguson tractor. Just checking it out. Making sure that everything is alright with it, and making sure that everything is connected properly and everything works. And we will test it out on bales over here on these fields that we have. So let's just start it up. Okay, so we got our price for fixing this truck, and let me tell you, it ain't pretty. So I will ask for it to be sent back. Like I think we paid like $68,000 for it, and it's gonna cost about $37,000 to fix, and it's not really worth it. So I'm kind of in talking with the dealer, see if he's got something else that the engine's not blown on it, or simply return our money. So we'll find out what he comes up with, but it's definitely going back, then we'll get our $68,000 back on it. Yeah, so sad to see, but that's gotta go. Alright, so just so happened that they had a truck to give us, so this is our truck. Alright, so this is our truck and trailer substitute for what we had. It cost us a bit more money, but it's not a bad looking truck. Hopefully we don't have the same issues as what we had with the other truck. Okay, it's a little bit bigger than what I wanted, but since we live on an island, we can't really be fussy and picky and all that sort of nonsense. So we do have to just kind of suck it up and you know, take what we get given. So here we are. All right, so we got $145,000 left. Actually, I don't think we should do that because I did that last time, and then I had to unload the other truck. This would just be used the truck that we cart our grains to sell. So let's have a look at, can we afford to buy any land? Alright, so this is our second load of bales from all our fields. So off to sell them. We got good money off the first load. Hopefully we'll get just as good a money off the second load. We got a mixture of I was going to say square bales, but oats and straw, normal straw like wheat or barley. I think it is. So we'll see what happens. I'll see you when we're selling them. Alright, here we are. Alright, let's have a look on how much money we're going to get out of them this time. $51,000. So definite. Oh, hang on, we're going to get a bit more money. Okay, and you're not selling why? So $55,000, definitely worth doing. So we may very well end up keeping the baler, which means we may have to end up finding some money. We've got one more harvest, and then we have to buy all the farm, everything. So we'll see how we go with money, but I think we're going to be struggling with money to buy everything at the rate we are going. So we may have to start looking for a loan of some sort. Anyway, we'll call it quits here for this episode, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully you know, you find the storyline interesting. Now obviously FS22 is coming out, so this I'm still going to continue this series, but it may slow down for a little bit, but it'll still go on. So thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. You be kind to each other. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, night, evening, morning, depending on where you are around the world. See you later. Bye bye.